How cool is it to be in Cancun? It's amazing, absolutely amazing. I love it. I love that we're here. I love that you're here. And I love that I get a few minutes to spend some time with you. And we're going to talk about building your social media brand. Anyone want to learn about that today? Awesome. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am. So, Marilee Maricich, live up in Anacortes, Washington in the Pacific Northwest. Beautiful place. And I'm married to this amazing man who is out here somewhere, Sean Maricich. We've been married now for 28 years, and I just am so proud of him and just our life together. But our story is this. 28 years ago, you know, in your early 20s, you think you know everything, right? But we actually started out our working career. My husband was a commercial fisherman in the Bering Sea of Alaska. Anybody ever seen Deadliest Catch? Okay, you have a visual of what he did. Thank goodness at the time I did not. But I can tell you it was high risk for high pay. But we were committed to that process. We had a lot of friends and family who had been in the industry, and so we knew that if you were responsible, you could actually retire early. And so we were well on our way on that path. But then I got a call one night, and Sean had hurt his back. It was a career-ending injury, and our world stopped overnight. Probably one of the scariest times ever. Sean spent about a year in rehabilitation, trying to get back his strength so he could actually work again. But I'll tell you, it was an awareness of building something bigger than yourself, absolutely necessary. So we started out our journey then trying to reinvent ourselves. So we got into a traditional business and quickly found ourselves owning our own job. Anybody own their own business? Can you relate? Yeah, we were working crazy hours. But it was at that time, so I want you to pick this up. It was at that time that a friend of mine saw something in me. She kept coming back to me and saying, you know, you should really look at the industry of network marketing. And I'm looking at her like, are you crazy? Like, we're working 100 hours a week right now. I can't even imagine doing something different than this. We can hardly breathe. That was 13 years ago, and I'm forever grateful to that person for introducing me to this amazing industry. But you learn a lot along the way. You chalk everything up as tuition, and you understand the value of what you have your hands on when you land in a place like this. Right? We know what we have is amazing, and I'm so proud to be here representing this. So we're going to talk about building your brand. So building your social media brand really is, we build relationships through social media by turning strangers into friends and friends into family. So it's about building relationships, and I want you to think about that broader audience that you have access to. So we talk about the story you tell through the content you create. Social media is a really big playground. In fact, we look at how big it is. We have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and I know it can be daunting. So you want to know, kind of where to start. Well, I can attribute a pretty big portion of my business to social media just because we've been able to have a broader audience. You know, when you talk about word-of-mouth advertising, it's actually the #1 form of word-of-mouth advertising. Did you know that? So if you can really own your skill set in that, it can do amazing things. So Facebook, 2.5 billion users. That's a pretty big audience. So social media is just a tool. It's not bippity-boppity-boo. It's actually, I want you to think about this. It's magical if you can create a plan. It's magical. But you do have to have a plan. So do you want to develop a brand? You want to identify your audience. You want to create your content. And you want to know your strategy. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So branding yourself. Always remember that first impressions are everything. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. It's an important thing to know. So I want to ask you, does your Facebook have an identity crisis? If you have a Facebook account? If so, it might be time to give it just a little bit of a facelift. So let's talk about how we do that. What does your profile say about you? Your profile is the very first thing that somebody takes a look at. I know when I get a friend request, the very first thing I do is I will pop over to someone's profile, and I have a snapshot to make a judgment of that person. So I want you to think about that as you look at your profile. So what does your cover photo say about you? My brand, what I want people to know about me in a snapshot, is I believe in people. I believe in people's dreams. I believe. So for me, that's my cover photo. But what does your profile photo say of you? You don't have to have a professional photograph. You can, but everybody has a selfie. I have a built-in selfie stick. We do this all the time. Take a picture, a great picture of yourself. Make that your picture, not your dog's picture, not your family's picture, even though I'm sure you all have lovely families, but make it your picture. People want to identify you right away. And remember, your smile is your business card. But does your intro summarize your brand? So the few things, you get to pick some words in your intro to describe who you are. And I want you to think about this. You're branding you. Notice mine doesn't say Life Vantage because I'm branding me. I want people to trust me, know me, and I want to create a little bit of curiosity. So who are you? I want you to think about that. Who are you? And what I want you to do, I actually want you to spend a little more time than we have here today, but who are you? I want you to write down, and really you can fill a full sheet up, but I want you to think about maybe the top 5 or 10 things that make you, you. What are you passionate about? What attracts people to you? What do you want to be known for? Think of those things. This is just to give you an example of some of the things. If you went to my timeline and you checked me out, you started scrolling through things, these are the things that you would see that are important to me. These are the kinds of things that I'll post about: my faith, family, healthy lifestyle. You can see that I'm a mentor. Inspirational posts, I love them, give value, love on people. I love travel. I like to be fun-loving. I love photography. And I have a laptop lifestyle. So now that we've got you identified, I want you to identify your audience. I think it's really easy just to get on Facebook and start posting random things. We see it all the time. And you're kind of confused in the message of what someone's doing. So get clear on yourself, but I want you to target your audience. So identify your audience. Your goal is to identify your target audience and attract like-minded people into your world. So we're going to focus on this. Christy Vogt has this great training, and I love it. So we're going to talk about design an avatar. So an avatar is the persona or embodiment of the ideal person that you want to do business with. So I want you to think about that. What does that ideal person look like to you? I want you to get really specific about who they are. Who do you want in your business? Who do you want to attract to yourself? I want you to get so specific, you actually give your avatar a name. So I want you to write down the top 5 or 10 things, or their most best attributes. What would that person look like? Who do you want to partner in business with? Who do you want to have a great relationship? So get specific about those things. Literally take another sheet of paper, and I want you to fill in specific things. So just some ideas. What's their age? What's their gender? Where do they live? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have children? Do they have pets? What kind of job do they have? What income level maybe are they at? Do they like to travel, like I like to travel? What kind of hobbies are they involved in? What kind of clubs? What kind of groups would they be hanging out in? What are their favorite foods? Where do they shop? Are they health-minded? Are they athletic? Do they like to hike? Do they like to do the things maybe that I like to do? Get specific about those things, real specific. So, as an example, here's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for a business-minded person. So in my avatar, I'm literally thinking of that person. I want to be maybe somebody that's interested in fitness, loves to travel, they're positive, loves people. That's an amazing attribute for what we do, isn't it? Do they have a healthy lifestyle? Are they healthy-minded? Maybe loves animals. I love animals. And do they have a sense of humor? Well, here's who my avatar is. I literally have pictured my avatar. This is Renee. Hi, Renee. So I want you to get specific, and I want you to picture that avatar. Who would your avatar be? So this is literally your demographic. So your avatar is your demographic. It's your targeted audience. So now I want you to go further than that. I want you to identify what concerns your avatar. So what concerns my avatar? Maybe they need better sleep. If I'm looking for a business-minded person, they might be absolutely frazzled in what they're doing, right? Maybe they need more energy for the same reason, doing too many things at once, possibly additional income. Maybe they're looking for an extra job. Maybe they need more time, like I did. I want you to picture what your avatar might be stuck in. It helps to have a visual, doesn't it? Maybe that busy person is stuck at a desk or a cubicle and they just want their life back. Stuck in gridlock? Do you know anybody around you in your world that could be in these kinds of scenarios, just wanting their life back? Picture that. Now I want you to picture, okay, the next slide. What kinds of groups would my avatar be in? So it's just really being aware, Facebook has amazing tools, and Facebook groups are one of them. So when you get a chance to identify your avatar and what they might be interested in, what kind of groups would they be hanging out in? So my avatar would be hanging out in groups like maybe a dog group. I'm a fur mom, maybe other fur moms out there. But maybe they're focused on healthy living. So I might be interested in popping into some groups and finding my avatar in there. Fitness, maybe they're into fitness. Some of those things that I had on my list. So we make the connections inside of the groups, but we build the relationships outside of the groups. What you don't want to do when you're ever in a group is become Spamela Pamela and start posting all over about your stuff. In fact, you'll probably get kicked out if you do. So you want to just make those connections in the group, but because you've already cleaned up your profile, and because you're posting about things they might be interested in seeing, when they go and check out, like, hey, who's this cool person inside the group? They pop over to your timeline, and they're like, okay, I resonate with them. You make an instant connection, but then you build the relationships outside of the group. So my avatar is actually here today. She's actually in my business. Renee, are you here? There's Renee. Give a wave. Thank you for wearing your outfit, avatar. But you want to create your content based around your avatar. So I want you to be mindful when you're posting. I want you to be thinking about all of those things that your avatar might be interested in. So think about it every time you do. Will my avatar be interested in what I'm posting? Why would my avatar do business with me? I want you to think about that. I literally consciously think about every post I make. I don't throw random things out. There's a point and a purpose for everything I'm posting. But what keeps them coming back to your timeline? Do you give value? Do you give a reason for people to go to your timeline? Does it feel good to go to your timeline? Would your avatar resonate with that? And is my content an answer to my avatar's problems? So let me give you a couple examples. I just had to start with this picture. If you follow me at all, my husband sleeps in every single plane ride we go. So I had to catch this on one of our trips. But literally, my timeline is filled with elements of my life. So I show pictures of our amazing, beautiful team gathering and celebrating life together. I throw sayings out that give values. How about that? Don't downgrade your dream to match your reality. Upgrade your belief to match your destiny. Right? So post things that people might resonate with. Give belief. I love photography. We saw that. So I post pictures of sunsets where we live in the Pacific Northwest. And it's kind of almost an algorithm hack. If you ever feel like your posts are getting like, they're dull, they're boring, throw a great sunset picture out there. It gets them every time. How about this? Sirtuins. It's my new favorite word. Whose favorite word is sirtuins? Yeah, mine too. Mine too. But I also post pictures of my dog. People literally follow my dog. This is Wiley, our 2.5-year-old Great Dane. But again, I'm attracting dog people to my world. In fact, I have several people now that, because of my dog and my story, that are in my business. So distributors now that get to see what we do, and don't we love Pet Tandem? Absolutely amazing, amazing. And more pictures just showing like what it's like to build a tribe. So maybe my avatar is a little lonely at work, stuck in her cubicle. This might be inspiring for her to see those kinds of things. This is laptop lifestyle. And then be clever. Clever with your post. She blinded me with science. And then you can talk about what the science is behind we do, what we have our hands on. But structured content equals efficiency. So if you can choose themes and kind of narrow down what it is that you want to post about, let that become your foundation so that you have a plan when you're posting. So for me, I'm talking about inspirational things, personal things, authentically myself, wanting to share myself with my world. I want people to feel like they know, like, and can trust me. So it's important to do those things. People want to know who you are. That's what Facebook's all about. That's like the epitome of Facebook. But posting about my hobbies, laptop lifestyle for sure, and products and business. So that's really the premise of what I'm posting about, just to give some examples. But you want to know your strategy, and creating curiosity really is key. You want to get people asking, what do you do? Can you help me? Are you posting things that are a solution to your avatar's issues, your avatar's problems, your avatar's needs? And you don't want to give the farm away. You don't want to be posting your link in your comments. You want to really be able to create the sense that people want to reach out to you and join you in Messenger to have a conversation. That's an important thing. So you want to take the conversation offline and always remember that the money is in the Messenger. We're just getting our content out on our timeline, building that trust, building that rapport, but the money's in the Messenger. The connections are in the Messenger. So just a few tips about that. It really is about building relationships, and I want you to think about that for Facebook. It's not about being a running advertisement for everything. We love what we have our hands on, but it's really about building that connection. People need to see you and trust you and know you. So here's a few things you can do. Be a fan back to those that are interacting with you. It's actually an algorithm hack if you use emotions. I love people's stuff. I give them the full emotion. And I really think of it like this. You have to give to get. So interact with people. That feels good. I know if I comment on something and somebody interacts with me, that feels good. And I feel like I make more of a connection with that person. And then you can drop a message to those commenting or interacting with your post. You know, hey, thank you so much for jumping on and cheering me on. It's always good just to make those connections. You don't have to jump in Messenger and pounce on them, but build those relationships there. And adding 3 friends a day, not LifeVantage, will help you grow your exposure to the people that you're really trying to draw to you. And then understand, it takes time to build a following. It really does take time. Quality connections are better than quantity. It's not about having to max out 5,000 friends that you maybe don't have any connection with at all. I'd rather see somebody have 500 friends or 1,000 friends and start to build that, but really be able to interact and have those connections. It makes a much bigger impact. And always remember this, there's an 80-20 rule when you're posting on Facebook. 80% of it should be about your life, about you, about who you are, so people can resonate with you, and they like and enjoy coming to your timeline. 20% about products and business, with only 1 to 2 posts maximum a day as a general rule. So outside of my timeline, I definitely maximize some of the other things that Facebook allows us to do, and that is literally building a community through Facebook groups. So our team, is my team here? Love these guys. Beautiful people. But what we do is we really try to build a culture. I live on an island in the Pacific Northwest, but I have a global team. And I do that because we have the ability to build that hotter fire and stay more connected through a Facebook community. I absolutely love that feature about it. So we have 3 main groups as a team at large. We have a product education group, where we can throw so many of the good tips and tools and things that I can pull like a video from LifeVantage and really educate my group, our prospects for customers inside of that group. And a business education group that we do the same for people that are looking at the business. And it's a community we're all involved in. So everyone's commenting, everyone's cheering each other on, and it's a beautiful thing. And you better believe when we were ringing the bell at NASDAQ, that was in that group. to give you an idea. Some really fun things to do there. But then our teen group is what we call the hub, and that is where we just celebrate and announce things and keep everybody posted. And it's just been a great way for us to build culture and keep the fire hot. So I highly recommend using the groups. But really, out of all of this, the most important thing that I want you to remember, the real secret is this: knowing who your target audience is and who you are. So who are you? Whoops. There we go. Thank you, everybody.